I think we're good. We're live.
We're
right,
live.
We're live. So we skipped last week.
We did.
We skipped it because we were dealing with a breach, weren't we? Is that what happened?
It was a combination of a breach. I had a family medical emergency, so
that's right. That's
lots of things going on last week.
Let me get over to the. Let's see. There's a chat going on here.
And this week I'm using technology. I'm actually using Starlink on a boat in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. So I'm literally 180 miles from shore, streaming right up. Technology's great.
I don't see you rocking.
I am a little bit, but not too bad.
How big's the boat?
It's a Norwegian getaway. I don't know, 3,000 people, 1,680 feet long.
Make sure you wash your hands.
Oh yeah,
and don't.
They're pretty big. They're pretty big on that here.
Do they have the guys that stand in front of the restaurants like singing the "Washi Washi" song?
Yeah, washi washi wash. Yeah, they do that all the time. It makes my wife laugh every time I walk up there.
All right, Mr. Matt. So we had another situation last week, which was a new one. It was a first for us.
Yeah, one of your guys called me up and were like, "Hey, FBI showed up at one of our clients, and one of our clients, his name showed up on an Iranian list of potential, people being hacked." So we've been doing this for a long time. That's the first time I've ever had that happen to me. I mean, I've talked to the FBI after the fact, but I've never had them show up ahead of time and be like, "Hey, maybe you should check out your network because we see your name on this list."
It was bizarre too, because when they reached out to me, it was one of those things where it was the CFO and the I don't know, operations director or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, I gotta turn my fan on. It's here. Where's the remote? Okay. So they reach out to me. They're like, we need to talk to you right now. They never do that. So I'm like, okay. So we get on the phone and they're like, this is before we reached out before we brought your team into it. They're like, the FBI was just here. I didn't believe them. It's funny because I thought they were going to tell me something else. But they have a lot of people that work in their organization that are all over the world, really. So,
maybe were you thinking like a kidnapping or something? Or?
No, I thought they were going to say, with all the political nonsense that's going on and all this crazy stuff, I thought they were going to say that like somebody in their company was like on a list or something, and I thought it was some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So it just turned out that the FBI. So I think you just said this, but one of their users somehow was on this FBI list of people that were targeted.
Right.
And it's just a random user. It wasn't like a financial user.
Yeah. One random user, not the CEO, not the CFO, not the COO, not the IT director. Nobody with any real actionable, intelligence or anything that could, do anything at the site or the customer, and they were just randomly targeted, by this particular Iranian group.
So what did we do? So maybe I think the meat here is so of course we did all our basic stuff. We did we scanned their network. We scanned their mailboxes. Like what? Because we scanned no actual indication of a breach. It was just the FBI saying, "Hey, they're targeting you."
Yeah, and that posed an interesting problem with the insurance company because they called their insurance company. They brought in another breach company just to talk, and everybody was like, "Well, if there's no breach, we don't really know what to do because there was nothing for the third-party company to do." The insurance company wasn't sure what if or what they would pay out. It's not technically a breach, so it's not a payable action.
Right.
So
at first they were like, should we call the insurance company? And we were like, well, no, like you don't have a claim. There's no breach. There's like nothing going on. So, but then, we gave them of course we had to give them the scope of work for, they wanted us to scan the whole network, all the computers, hundreds, servers.
And the original scope of work, if you remember, was very expensive.
But
then after a couple of conversations, we were able to narrow it down to one user, one email box. We did scan all the email boxes, did some basic forensics on sign in, sign out. They did some of their own work based on their own applications they use. And, there was really much to do about nothing for the whole thing, except for the fact that what did they say? It was 2 FBI agents and a New York City detective showed up.
Yeah. It's really interesting that they're actually putting time into letting somebody know that there might be a breach because you're on a list. Because what comes to my mind is, it's important, but especially in New York City, there's so much crime and there's so much shit going on. Like, that's
Right.
where you want to put your resources, to tell somebody that like you're on a list. We're all on a list.
Yeah, pretty much.
But in the end, you're right. They brought in, so the insurance company decided they were going to bring in some other third party. For us, we just kind of closed the case. But we didn't find anything. There was no issue. And I did have an interesting experience with one of our clients. It's a client we already do some stuff for together, but this is a client of ours who, they're really smart people. And they're in a mission critical business. Trying not to give away like what they do or who they are, and I'm very close with the owner of the company for many, many years. We gave them all these recommendations. They don't really have any cybersecurity preventative or detection tools in place. And about 2 years ago, I really pushed them pretty hard, and they resisted. So I backed off and kind of said, hey, just understand your risk. And they did. They took it. And they've been okay, I think, since then. They might have had a couple of phishing emails that were like false alarms. Mm-hmm. So we began reaching out to people again, and they were on the list because they have nothing, and there's so much happening. So we give them a scope of work. It's not really that much relative to their revenue. Mm-hmm. The monthly increase in cost was like, I don't remember. Actually, I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't anything like that was business impacting to them, or at least I don't think it was, considering them and how much revenue they bring in. And so I ended up having drinks with the owner the other night. We were just socially hanging out, and he brought it up. I wasn't going to bring it up. So we talked about it for like 5 minutes. And he had a couple things that he wanted me to tweak. So I tweaked them, sent it back over to him and the VP of operations. And I'm like a week has gone by. So I reached out to them this morning, and I said, hey, what are you guys thinking? Like, did you want to put these things in place? And they are very, very worried about a breach, about the impact of a breach, about what their clients would think. They deal with Fortune 500 companies. I mean, it would be a massive, massive disaster if they had a breach. I texted them this morning. I was really surprised, actually, at their response. I said, hey, guys, good morning. You guys are probably busy, but I sent an email over to you guys last week with what so-and-so and I discussed about the cyber and the backup. I don't want to push you guys, be a pain in the ass, but did you guys still want to look into this, or do you want to move forward, or would you rather just check back in a few weeks or after New Year's? He's like, check back in a few weeks, we'll revisit it then. I was shocked. I just was, I really was, I couldn't believe that they decided not to move forward. And it's, I'm not going to push them because I said I won't push them, even though I want to, because I know the damage that's going to happen if they have a breach. This goes back to, do I have a banner for this? Hang on.
Yeah, we see this a lot. I mean, companies that make, companies that make $100 million a year and they're reluctant to spend $30, $40 a month per user to make sure they have a 99% chance not to have breaches,
I think it might even come out to something like that. It wasn't, I mean, they have a decent amount of users, but I think it was $800 a month more, maybe net is what it was like not a big number.
Right.
I don't minimize what people spending money, but in relative, because I know their revenue and it's over 10 million a year. Mm-hmm. $800 a month more or something like that. But maybe it was, actually it was more like 2,000 because they wanted to have really solid like third-party backup to back up all their Azure servers. So that added 1,200. But before that, it was only 800. So for the $2,000 a month, so I'll just wait a few weeks, but it's so crazy to me. Like we still have people. Look what the screen says: 100% guarantee we're going to have a breach. They know they're going to have a breach. He said to me, "It's only a matter of time. We've been lucky." The owner, and then they just don't move forward.
And then there's a 100% guarantee that if you have a breach and you don't have secure backups because they want secure backups, they're going to delete your backups. How many times have we seen that now?
I told them. I told them everything. Like I've done everything I could possibly do. Like you can lead a horse to water, but
can't get them to sign a contract.
It was really surprising to me, and I guess the reason that I'm bringing this up is that they probably will see this when it gets published. But I mean, they're actually good friends of mine for decades, and that's if we weren't such good friends, I would push harder. Mm-hmm. If I push him, he's gonna try and say, "Hey, cut the shit."
Right.
He'll literally say it to me. So, you know, I want to respect their space and they want to have a few weeks to think about it again. But it's
how many?
wild.
You know how as much as I know, it takes what 5 minutes for something to happen. I mean, you don't know when or if or where or how, but it's just going to happen. I mean, even when they sign a contract, how it takes a few weeks to get things spun up. So it's now you're looking at a month or 2 months or 3 months of just time where there's no protection or no monitoring or all all that stuff.
Matt, he asked me, he goes, what's the impact if we get hit right now? So if you guys get hit right now and your servers are all encrypted, I'm thinking about what I told him. So I think so they have the servers are in Azure. The servers will be back up relatively quickly. I said you'll be back up in a day. Your email, no. If you get your email hit because you're not doing third-party backup, I don't know if people know this, but Microsoft's Office 365 isn't really backup. It's more like archiving and like retention. You're gonna have a problem. Like if somebody wiped out all your email, dude, how long would it take to get it? I don't even think it's recoverable.
Yeah, if they wipe it out, you can't recover it actually unless you have it downloaded to like an Outlook or something. But for the most part,
and I was included in it. And I said to him, like, what would the impact be if that happened? And I mean, it was a rhetorical question. He's like, they'd be devastated. They'd be totally screwed. And I was very, very surprised. I'm still looking at my family. I'm still shocked that they still waited a few weeks. I had a feeling because normally they would just sign off on stuff. I don't know what they're trying to figure out. Maybe they're bouncing pricing off of other people. They've done that before, or they're just looking at sometimes people are too smart for their own good. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It may sound like that, but people who are really intelligent, and their business that they're in is, they're engineers. They tend to overanalyze. Now, that could be good. Like it's good to overanalyze initially to make sure that you're making the right decision. But then when you get into analysis paralysis, that's not good.
Right.
I don't know if that's what's happening. But after I met with the owner and we were like, yeah, we'll just move forward. We'll make these changes. And then a week goes by and I'm like, what the hell? I'm sending emails. They're not responding to my emails. These people are friends of mine. Like, what the hell? They're not answering my emails? But it's funny because all buyers, hang on one sec. Listen to what I'm going to say. No matter who it is, friends, family, or strangers, when it comes to buying, everybody gets into the same mindset and they become a buyer. And it's like, it doesn't matter if they're your friends or your family or whatever.
Right.
They're all the same. And that process is the same. So I don't know what's holding them back. I don't know if it's money, if they're shopping it around to come back to me and say, hey, because they've done that before. They're not going to find anything different. Well, our tools are the same as everybody else's tools. It's just that they're just wasting time. And I hope to God that this isn't a few weeks where they have a breach, because that would be unfortunately, that would be karma, right? You're waiting, and now you have a damn breach.
We've had happen before. In 2019, we had a customer that took 6 months to sign them, and the day after they signed their contract, before we had even put it into our system, they had a massive breach that pretty much put them out of business.
If these guys had a breach, it wouldn't put them out of business. They would get through it. They would definitely suffer for about a week. I actually said to the guy, I'm like, what would happen if your email was screwed up and your data was screwed up and you couldn't use your quoting tool and you couldn't use your CRM for like 4 or 5 days? They would be screwed. It's recoverable, but because they can still deliver their service without that. They would have a hard time tracking their workforce. They'd have a hard time doing billing, tracking time. They would really, really be in trouble. And yet they're just, we'll just wait. They waited 2 years already. And that's the thing. Sometimes people get this in their mind, like, well, it hasn't happened yet, so whatever, we'll be fine.
What I always say is that you know of.
Right, that you know of.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm tempted to say, let's throw the scanner in their environment and see what we come up with.
That would be interesting to see. People are usually very unaware of what's sitting on their networks, between the hodgepodges of, software that people have installed, or just, not bad, but, rough IT policies. Lots of things can, appear in the network that you don't know are there.
Dude, we should put the network scanning device in there, the vulnerability, and see what we come up with. And I don't know. At a certain point, it's like maybe they need to see like that you legit have all kinds of problems that we don't know about. We run this here. Like, do you want to do something about that?
Yep.
We should
Something like that. Yeah.
something about it. So we get off of this, but there's two people. They're one, and there's another one. It's our client that has 6 locations or 7 locations. They're the doctor's offices. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I'm talking. Yep.
And up in New York City, they're also resistant. And I'm like, we should just run the scans and send him a report. Like, I was even thinking about putting KnowBe4 in. Actually, I think Mark on our team is actually putting KnowBe4 in, and we're doing a 1 month like free trial. They don't even know. We're just going to turn it on and see how many people fail the damn phishing emails because they will not give us an approval to put it in place in their environment. It's just nothing but like excuses and procrastination.
Yeah, and I would be willing to bet that since they don't know you're putting it in, and they haven't told all their employees, you're going to get plus 20% of people.
Oh, they would get hammered. Yeah. They would get hammered.
You know, what I've learned is doing phishing tests is people will do anything for a Starbucks gift card. they'll give you all the information in the world. They can get a Starbucks gift card out of it.
Yeah. That's so true. You know,
it's funny. It's funny. I can't, because of the ship, I can't stay centered to the screen.
Where are you right now? Where are you, like, in what ocean are you sitting in?
We're in the Gulf of Mexico, heading to Cozumel.
You guys check the weather, right?
Yeah. We're watching.
All the way
around. I can't stay centered in the screen. It's kind of funny. But Starlink, they have Starlink on the ship, and it's working well.
You know something, dude? I think I'm going to buy that. I'm worried that they're going to shut the grid down. I really legit think that they're going to shut the grid down. I don't think Starlink would be a great backup because I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. Oh, you just said Starlink is working great, and you're totally frozen.
Am I? No, I just stopped.
Uh-oh, Matt.
You can't see me?
Oh, I lost you. I guess they heard you.
Oh, no. Can you hear me now?
Wow, are we back? Matt, you back? Yeah. He says, you go, Starlink is working great, and then you froze.
Great, and then I froze. Thanks, Elon Musk.
No, I legit think that there's a good chance over the next, today's the 4th, so tomorrow's the election day. I think in the next month, I would say 60, 70 days, there's going to be some wild, wacky stuff going on. I think there's going to be organized riots around the country. I think we're going to see an increase in outages. I think we're going to see an internet outage. All the stuff that puts people into fear, panic, and it makes everybody controllable. You think I'm crazy for saying it, but
no.
Everything everybody said was a conspiracy theory has turned out to be true. Every single thing
happens all the time. What today's conspiracy theory is tomorrow's news item of factual reporting.
Here, in case, even though nobody's actually looking at this right now, let me change this in case anybody wants to reach us. There you go. Well, I think this is I think we hit on some good stuff. So 2 things. One, don't procrastinate. If you procrastinate, you're going to end up having to remediate. Maybe we should make that a tagline.
Exactly, yeah.
Don't procrastinate or you'll have to remediate.
Yep.
And the story about the FBI was just out of left
field. Yeah, that was, I mean, listen, I've been doing this for a really, really, really long time. And I've talked to the FBI a bunch. We're part of an FBI program called InfraGard. I've never had them come ahead of time. It's always, we talk to them after. Because they do those after action reports after you get ransomware. They want some more details for their reporting.
Yeah. Actually, we have another one of those. I don't know if you saw from one of the breaches we were dealing with a month ago. I have an email in my inbox. FBI wants us to do a report.
Yeah, I saw it on Saturday. I was going to take a look at it. As you know, I'm on a cruise, but as a business owner, there's like half cruise, half,
Yeah, there's no. Well, I forgot you were going, and you did tell me. So I saw your out of office message. I was going to do this by myself, even if you weren't on it.
I thought it'd be a good opportunity to check out the Starlink and see how it works. I told my wife, and she's like, "Yeah, I figured you'd have to do something today."
Is it from the boat, or did you bring one with you?
No, it's on the boat. They have their own Starlink. You're technically not allowed to bring Starlink on the boat. They'll confiscate it.
Oh, because they want you to pay for their internet.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. I think we covered some good stuff, man.
Cool.
So, are you gonna be back for next week?
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back on Saturday. So.
All right. We'll probably do it on. Probably do it on Monday. But we can just keep it. Yeah, maybe we'll go back to Monday.
Yeah, Mondays are great. Today is Monday, right? Yeah, today's Monday.
We're about to hang up, and we got 2 people that just joined.
Oh,
All right, man. Have a fun trip.
no problem.
It's all you can drink and all you can eat and all you can everything. It's all inclusive.
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty much all you want to do. You just go show your room card and do what you want to do.
Wild.
Yeah, we got my father-in-law who's never traveled, and he's having a blast.
All right, buddy. Have fun. Hopefully,
Yep.
we don't have any breaches while you're away. But I know you're. We got the team. We got the team watching closely.
Yep. You saw
All
that
right,
last
man.
night.
Talk to you later.
We got it covered. All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.